Good morning, guys. Welcome to this Wednesday, December 31st, last trading day of the year. So we are finally here. I was freaking out about Christmas already in June, and now we went to Christmas, we went to New Year's, and tomorrow we're going to be in 26. Tomorrow going to be market's going to be closed. Today's a full trading day. It's probably going to be tapering off pretty good after the London close probably. But it is a full trading day, and then we kick in again on it's a regular trading day on Friday. So tomorrow we're gonna be closed. Not gonna be opening the room tomorrow. Nothing is open. So and we're just gonna be nursing our hangover, right? So we'll see how this whole day shakes out. But I mean, as we're looking at, and the ES, our little Santa rally ran out of gas right after Christmas, so backing off a little bit. Now we have news coming out this morning at 8:30. You get jobless claims. 10 o'clock, so at 10:30 we get an oil report, and that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, jobless claims at 8:30. That's about it. So I don't expect much of the news to drive the market, but as you can see on the F1 capital flow, we had a nice move out of the middle, a little Santa rally run right up here to 69.90. We never made 7,000 though, not this time. Backed off. This was the last extension to the upside, right up here to 69.90. We started backing off, and right now we're in that spot where we are looking for a spot to cut off the selling. I thought it was going to be yesterday since it was a holding day yesterday, but overnight has taken it lower, and we are back looking at pushing the lower edges here. See we're going to find support. So it just feels like we are drifting lower, and not necessarily a sell-off, but it kind of turned that Santa rally into a dud, didn't it? So closing up the year, I'm going to start off this market range bound. I'm going to probably start with a slight bias to the downside to see if they can extend this further to the downside. So initially, I'm going to be looking to sell early strength, not very aggressively, but only against this 69.40s, the 69.50s here for rotations down. Maybe up to 69.60s, but I mean, I think if they trade up above this 69.40s, I think we are almost back in a spot where they're backing off the low sufficiently for us to start thinking about a range bound trading throughout the rest of the day. So if we can get up above that London, above this area, the 69.40s, I will still look for shorts against the 50s and the 60s here, but I think if they can get up above the session highs here, then we are probably in good shape to just stay range bound going into the close of the year. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. But it's, as I said, we're in a move out of the market's mechanism is still very much doing what it's doing. And that's basically cut off the buying up here at the 69.90, look for a spot to cut off the selling. It was not yesterday. Yesterday, if they had held here, we would have probably been stage 3. But right now, we're still probing to the downside, and we'll see how far I want to take it. Below that 6900, 6900, 6900 to 6910. Gonna have to worry about the short side starting to get some momentum. So, and also getting into the new year, I mean, I would not be surprised if we see a bit of selling in the new year, just because they have the some profit taking going on, tax-based profit taking. But then you also have a lot of money flowing into 401ks, which can offset that. Just net buying in 401ks, you can add another chunk of money into your 401k. So it is always an interesting month in January. We'll see how this shakes out. I'm going to be optimistic though. I think all the overall indicators and signs are that the economy is going to be pretty darn good. Doesn't mean that the stock market is going to just go straight up. It's definitely fundamentals of the what makes the stock market go higher is going to be better and more improved. So as we start off, so it's a range bound trading, looking for early weakness, see if they can push this edge lower, looking to sell against looking to sell against early strength. But I'm looking for that early weakness to retest these lows. But if we get a little bit of a pop right from the get-go, I'm going to look for short setups against that for rotations down. Just against these first two, 69.40, 50 and 60s are on the radar, but not very aggressively. And then we'll see if they can take this lower or not. If not, if this was the low, the overnight low at 69.20, we'd be in good shape to just kind of stay range bound and go sideways throughout the rest of the day. And buying against the 69.20, the 10s down to the 6900, start taking out these lower areas. I think it could start getting a little bit gnarly, but we'll see. There's not a lot of news to drive the market. Probably not a lot of people trading it either. Probably it's going to be bugging out early for the New Year's celebration. So this is going to be an interesting year coming up, and I'll just take the opportunity to thank you guys for hanging around in this trading room. Hopefully it's useful, give you some information, this is starting point of the day, and maybe some ideas on how to attack certain problems or perspectives on how to find your areas of interest and areas of where you want to engage the market. But hopefully it's useful for you. I'll keep doing it. So it helps my own trading, so I'll be doing it, and I will be pushing it out as usual. I appreciate you guys hanging around, and anyone which is following along and listening in, I appreciate you for doing so. NASDAQ, look at that thing. Backing off a little bit. NASDAQ is again getting kind of a little bit beat up here. They're definitely backing off. They could not get up above that 4-letter edge. They're pretty much down in this area of churn. So what I'm going to do here probably soon is to start folding this stuff together, and you'll start seeing this coming into becoming a pretty one big distribution, and everything's starting to come to balance. And just so you can see, I'm going to start folding, and you can start seeing how this whole thing starts developing, and then you can resplit it to get a little bit better perspective, but you start seeing and maybe fold this guy back together like that. So this is some splitting we can be doing on this guy here, but I'll leave this on right now, and there you have. Gives you a little bit better perspective. A little rundown, a little Santa rally, and here it looks like we're finding value around about the 25,600, because the volume is starting to focus around there. You wouldn't see that on that other split, but it's as you start folding stuff together, you get that nice distribution of where volume is really at. You can see I had spent a lot of time over here on the lower end, but the bulk of the volume is right here at that 25,600. So anyway, but we're looking at same story there, early weakness, see if they can take this lower. Going to try to get short against early strength if that happens. So looking for short against the 630s and the 670s initially. Maybe up to this 720s, but here's your little attractor at the 25,700 in the short term. That's a short-term attractor. You have a mode here on the shorter term on the let me see here. This is all the volume. So this is all the volume in this histogram. You see that mode is a little bit higher at 700, and this split, the volume is a little bit lower at 600. So yeah, you're starting to figure out where the tractor areas are. We're looking at this right now from a market perspective, and we are. I would be looking for early weakness to see if they can take this lower, and if they do, if they start taking out this 500 level, I mean that's when it starts getting a little bit gnarly, and below that 370, that volume edge at 370. That's where things start going south again. So we'll see how this year starts shaping up. Right now, though, probably going to see maybe a little bit of action in the morning, and then maybe backing off a bit going into the latter part of the day. So we're going to get short against the 630 and the 670 initially for rotations down. We're going to buy against that 560, 510. Down to the 460s for rotations up. Below the 560s, I mean, again, that's had to be, I would say, below the 500. So given another level down into the 500, with these two levels, 560 and the 500s, if they both come out, I would be just staying on the short side and see how far they want to take it. So I'm not expecting a big directional day, but they can certainly probe the edges. And if they trade up above that 670, I'm probably going to go back more range bound and still looking for shorts against the 720s and 760s, but not very aggressively at that point. And chances are we will be closing up here in the 25,700 range if this is just the early weakness we are looking at. But if not, if this is going to hold out and it's going to be a little bit further selling, so things can certainly get gnarly. You know, it is with the markets. So this is what little Santa rally is getting reversed, and let's see how the whole thing develops throughout the day. But anyway, so starting off on both the ES and NASDAQ, looking for more weakness at least to get started, and let's see how far they can take it. And if you get a little pop on the upside to get started, just the first levels of resistance I'm looking to buy against. If they take them out, we may have a nice little recovery going on here, back up in this upper range. If they start taking out the upper level, 760 and the 800, I would be inclined to hop on the long side. And on the ES, if they take out the 6960s, I would probably be inclined to take out to hop on the long side. But they got a little bit of ways to go to get there. So given a slow trading day, that would be a pretty good rally going on when they start getting up above that. So that's how we get started. Bond market, interesting stuff going on there. They're moving pretty good right now, to be honest with you. Look at that thing. You're gonna get on a good trade here at the 1605. They're down to 25, 10 ticks on the downside. That's a pretty good move on the bond market. So they were up here, now they are reversing. So watch for this guy, see if something interesting develops. It's you just have to be patient to find the setup, and if it's a good setup, take it, and then see how it goes. And you can't trade it as aggressively as you do the ES and NASDAQ. It doesn't move like that. They usually move, reprice it, stall, doesn't go anywhere, just flops around, and then. But when you're at an edge and you start seeing it failing, it can't punch through an edge. That's when you have an opportunity to get on that thing. So anyway, but I mean, we'll see. I'll be watching it. So at this point, just to range bound trading on the bonds. Interesting little move here in the morning. They took it a bit lower here, so see if where they're going to go. But initially looking to buy against the 1524s, 16s down to the 10s. Looking at sell strength against the 1530. 1602, 1607, up to the 1615s, rotations down. So we are pretty much range bound on the bonds. They are just going back and forth in a reasonably tight range. Use 16 up to the, use like a half point to a point range every day. So not a whole lot of range. So yes, that to trade it a little bit of caution. Alrighty, guys. So that's the bond market, just the range bound bond market as usual. Hasn't really been doing a lot. But back to the ES and the NASDAQ, and we'll see here. Right now we have a nice little retracement rally going on here. They're running it up here to the upper area of the overnight range. So looking for potential short opportunities if they're going to try to take this lower. And if not, if they start trading up in this upper area, then we are going to be back up in the range bound market. So let's see how this whole thing develops. This last trading day of the year. And again, anyone listening into these updates, morning updates, wrap-ups, recorded or not, I appreciate you all, and hope you have a great Happy New Year. If you don't hang around for the whole day, so have a Happy New Year, and we'll see you guys back on Friday again. It's going to be the day and start off the new year. But I'll be here doing the next few updates, so. I'm not giving up just yet. We have one more day to do. Alrighty, guys. Good trading, and I'll see you guys back at 11:30 for the next update.